We were called in at right at 1 a.m. this morning for the actual 911 call was for a burglar alarm. And what had happened was the homeowner had noticed the fire, went downstairs and opened the back door to start getting his pets out. That's when the alarm was activated. The security system contacted him. He said the house was on fire. Law enforcement was dispatched along with fire department. We arrived to find heavy smoke showing. Branson Fire Department was actually first on scene. Our first engine was on a medical call, so they first arrived, made initial fire attack, and with the cold and the windy conditions, the fire escalated. It's a large 3-story lake house, so we had heavy fire conditions. We called for a second and then third alarm, which brought in additional resources. We had about 35 firefighters on the scene. As of right now, about 8 o'clock. We've been here for about 7 hours. We're kind of in the mop-up stage right now where we just have hot spots and it's kind of dwindling down. It will be kind of smoking and smoldering for probably the rest of the day. One homeowner was home and was able to get his pets out, and his wife was out of town, so we had no injuries there. With the extreme cold conditions, we had some of the fire hose lines that had water and overspray create icy conditions, and we did have 2 firefighters with some minor injuries that had fallen, and one had an ankle injury and one had a hip injury. But other than that, no major injuries, and that's about it. Makes it very difficult because, one, we're dealing with water and freezing conditions, and then just being out in the cold takes a toll on everybody. And this is kind of a tight subdivision, so for the most part, kind of one-way roads in and out, and that makes it very difficult as well.
It looks like you had some challenges just on the walk up here, getting water up this year.
Right. What we had to do, the local water supply dwindled down fairly quick, so we had to tap into the next subdivision's water supply with the large diameter hose, and that we did what we call relay pumping. So I think we had about 1,500 feet of hose at the bottom of the hill and pumping up to another engine, and then that engine's pumping up to the next engine and supplying the water that way.
Any idea on the cause? Homeowner giving you information when it started?
Not as of right now, so we haven't even begun the investigation.
How do you keep everybody in icy, cold conditions safe like this?
Well, we had plenty of firefighters on the scene, and we rotate them out. So all of our engines are enclosed cabs, and we would get we'd take rotations, and guys would be able to get in the engine and warm up and take turns fighting the fire.